Hello everyone, my name is Roya and I'm here to tell you all about the books that I read in the latter half of July. So I read one adult fantasy, two adult romances, and two young adult speculative fiction that are set in the real world, that are both arcs that are coming out soon. So anyway, so let's start with the fantasy. I read The Bard's Blade by Brian D. Anderson. This is a really good book. It is about a musician who goes through a barrier that's between his world and another one, and his fiance finds out he went there and follows him there too, but they both don't see each other or anything. They each get lost and go different ways. The world that they go to is ridiculous, and it's really heavily governed by a religion, and it's so brutal that they actually just by not even being from there and saying we're not from there, we're not from here, we don't even know, we're not even remotely familiar with this religion, they still get like jailed and punished and all kinds of stuff, and it's just weird. And the religion itself isn't even that bad. It's not like it necessarily preaches anything that bad. It's just that the people in charge are using that religion to just punish whoever's not part of that religion. And then, yeah, so our main character ends up becoming an assassin in order to save his fiance, and it's something that he really did not want to do, obviously. So it's just a whole crazy mess, and I'm really excited to continue with the series and see what happens next. So the first romance book that I read was Music of the Night by Angela J. Ford. This is a fantasy romance that is very it's how do I describe it? It's really Phantom of the Opera based, but it's not necessarily a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and it's not historical. It is entirely fantasy. The only thing is that we don't really get a lot of world building in it. There's just enough to know that, and there's not really anything that crazy about the world itself, but there's enough to know that we hear enough about the way that things work in it that is definitely not like anything in our historical timeline or anything like that. So it's definitely it's totally a straight up fantasy. But anyway, it's really good. I thought that the love story was really good. The sex scenes were good. The plot overall was, interesting enough to keep me reading the whole time, and it's not a long book either. And I really enjoyed it. I think I'm definitely going to check out some more of her books. In Harmony by J.N. Welsh, this is the other romance book that I read this month. This is about a girl who is a classical musician and a DJ, and no one really knows that, she has a DJ name and everything. Like, no one actually knows who she is. So even her dad, who is a famous DJ, actually doesn't even know that his daughter is still being a DJ and all of that. So she is having a really hard time juggling those two things, and she has so many gigs and so much going on that finally she ends up having to, even though she had really wanted to just keep just doing all the work herself, she ends up having to hire an agent, and the agent she hires is someone she's a little bit reluctant to work with, but they become friends and they really hit it off and all of this stuff, and they fall in love and everything. So anyway, this is a really good book. I think that obviously I've mentioned in an earlier video that I am really interested in seeing more music industry related romance books, and I've been finding, I did a lot of digging into it, seeing how many there even were. But anyway, so this one was really good. I really liked it. I don't know. Anyway, next. So one of the young adult books that I read this month was A Dead Flip by Sara Farizan. This is so this is by one of my favorite authors, but this is something completely different. She normally writes contemporary, and this is a lot more in the horror genre, but it's really not that scary, honestly. I wouldn't have even necessarily felt like it was a horror if I hadn't really like read the blurb and seen that it's billed as a horror. But anyway, definitely did not disappoint. I really like her books because of the characterization and just her really good writing style that I really like. And so this is about these three kids who are friends, and then they're all best friends, but they're starting to kind of drift apart due to circumstances mostly beyond their control, really. And one of them gets sucked into a pinball machine, and all anyone else knows is that he disappeared one day and could not be found. But his two best friends know pretty much what actually happened. So then fast forward about 6 years, the other two are seniors in high school. They're not friends anymore for various reasons. And then like they don't go to the same school anymore or anything like that. And then out of the pinball machine comes their friend, and he's still 12 years old and all of that. And then they're not sure what is going on with this and why, what exactly happened to him. And so they have to find out how to stop other similar instances from happening. And it's so good. I really was on the edge of my seat with this one. I was really invested in these characters and this world, and basically what was going on. And yeah, it was just really, it was really fun. And then the last book that I read in the month of July was The Memory Eater. This is an arc that was sent to me by Penguin Teen, so thank you so much to Penguin Teen for sending this my way. This is coming out. It's not out yet. It'll be out in a couple months. But anyway, so this is about a girl whose family has always been tasked with keeping this memory eater that her ancestor once locked up in her cave, basically, and feeding her memories so that she at least doesn't like starve. So the memories come from different people who have memories that they don't want. And then one day the memory eater gets out. The main character and these other people who are descendants from some of the other people who were involved at that time when her ancestor locked up the memory eater have to stop the memory eater, figure out what's going on, all of that. So the main character does find out something that not a whole lot of people before her even knew, and there are all these twists to what is going on with the memory eater, who she really is, and it's so interesting. So the whole time I was just really on the edge of my seat. I was like really wanting to see what happened with this, and it was really good. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Those are the books that I read in the latter half of July. If you read any of them, have any thoughts on them, let me know what your thoughts are, and we'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!